1. Introduction. I need to tell you something important. It is about a mistake I made, a very big mistake. It hurt someone very much. It hurt the man I love, my husband, Ron. What I did is something I cannot change now. I wish I could go back in time, but I cannot. This mistake changed everything in my life, and not in a good way. It is a heavy secret I carry. My name is Isabella. I am 27 years old. I live in a small town, a quiet place usually. I have a job in an office downtown. It is a normal job, dealing with papers and computers 5 days a week. Nothing very exciting happens there. I am married to Ron. We have been married for 5 years now. We met when we were younger, and we fell in love. We have 2 children together, a little boy named Leo and a younger girl named Mia. They are young and need a lot of attention and care. Our family life was busy, very busy, maybe too busy. Life felt very full, like a cup filled right to the top. Every day was almost the same routine. I woke up early in the morning, often before the sun came up. I prepared breakfast for the children and Ron. Then I helped the children get dressed and ready. After that, I took the children to their school. Then I drove to my work. My work was often long, sometimes stressful. After work, I picked up the children from the after-school club. Then I came home and started cooking dinner. There was always cleaning to do in the house, clothes to wash and fold, and school homework to help Leo with. By the end of the day, I always felt very tired, deeply tired in my body and in my mind. There was never enough time for myself just to relax or read a book. There was also never enough time for Ron either. Our time together became less and less. We were both tired, I know that. Ron worked hard too. He has a demanding job that requires long hours. He started working even more hours some months ago. He often came home late from his job, sometimes after the children were already asleep. When he came home, he was usually quiet. He looked tired, just like me, with lines on his face. We did not talk much anymore, not like before. Before, we used to talk about our day, about our feelings, about our dreams, about everything. But slowly, that stopped. He seemed far away, lost in his thoughts, even when he was sitting next to me on the sofa watching television. We lived in the same house, shared the same bed, but sometimes it felt like we lived in different worlds, separated by a wall we could not see. This change made me feel very sad inside. I started to feel lonely, a deep loneliness, even though I was never really alone in the house. My children were there, Ron was physically there, but I felt like something important was missing between us. I felt unseen. I felt like nobody really saw me, Isabella, the person. They saw the mother doing chores, the wife managing the house, the office worker doing her job, but not the real me, the woman inside. I missed feeling important to someone, especially to Ron. I missed feeling special, like I mattered. I wanted someone to notice me, to really listen to me, to talk to me about more than just bills or the children's school. I wanted someone to make me feel less alone in my own home. This feeling grew stronger every day. It was a quiet sadness inside me, but it felt very heavy, like a stone in my chest. 2. Meeting someone new. At my job, there was a man named Nick. He worked in the same office building. Nick was different from how Ron acted now. Nick was funny and seemed happy. He often stopped by my desk to talk. He asked about my work and how I was feeling. He really listened when I spoke. This felt very nice because I often felt lonely at home. Nick noticed small things about me. He told me he liked my dress or that my hair looked nice. He told me I was beautiful. Hearing these kind words made me feel warm inside. It was attention I missed very much. Nick also started to help me with my work sometimes. When I looked busy or tired, he offered help. He made difficult office tasks seem easier. He also made me laugh during stressful times at work. His attention made me feel important again, like I mattered to someone. It was like someone finally saw me, Isabella, not just the busy mother or tired wife. I started to look forward to seeing Nick each day. His friendly smiles and kind words were like a small light in my long days. I felt a bit happier when he was near. One evening, after a very long day at the office, Nick asked if I wanted to get a drink with him. I was tired, but I agreed and said yes. I did not plan for anything to happen. We went to a quiet bar not far from our office. We sat and talked for a long time. It felt easy to talk to Nick. He made me forget my problems and worries for a little while. Then, as we were getting ready to leave the bar, something happened. He looked at me in a special way, and I looked back at him. And that night, we kissed. I knew it was wrong, very wrong, but in that moment, I kissed him back. I could not stop myself. That kiss was the start of something secret. It was the beginning of my big mistake. After that night, things were different between Nick and me. We started sending text messages to each other. Simple messages at first, then more personal ones. We had to be very careful so nobody saw them. At the office, we shared secret looks when we thought no one was watching. Sometimes, we found moments to talk alone for a few minutes, maybe near the coffee machine. We started to plan small, secret meetings too. A quick coffee together or a short walk during our lunch break. It was wrong. I knew it was wrong deep inside. But another part of me felt excited and alive again. It was a secret just between us. 2 lives. Isabella started living 2 different lives. It was very difficult and confusing. At home, she tried hard to be a normal mother to her 2 children. She cooked their favorite meals, helped them with schoolwork, and read them stories before they slept. She tried to be a good wife to Ron. She asked about his day and tried to smile, but inside, she felt empty and dishonest. It was hard work pretending everything was okay when it was not. She felt like she was acting in a play every day. But then there was her other life, the secret life with Nick. When she was with Nick, she felt completely different. She felt happy, alive, and young again. He made her laugh easily. He listened carefully when she talked about her feelings. He often told her she was special and beautiful. These secret meetings felt exciting, like a hidden adventure away from her normal, busy life. She loved the attention he gave her. It was something she missed. These two lives pulled Isabella in different directions. Her feelings were mixed up. When she was with Nick, she felt a strong rush of excitement and happiness. But later, especially when she was home with her family, she felt terrible guilt. She knew she was doing something very wrong. She was lying to Ron, her husband, and the father of her children. She looked at her children playing and felt a deep sadness. This guilt was heavy, like a dark cloud following her. Fear became her constant companion. She was always scared, every minute of the day. What if Ron found out? What if he accidentally saw a message on her phone? What if a neighbor or someone from work saw her with Nick? This fear made her nervous and jumpy. Every time her phone buzzed with a message, her heart beat fast. Every time Ron looked at her quietly, she worried he knew her secret. To keep her secret safe, Isabella started doing many careful things. She guarded her phone all the time. She deleted messages from Nick immediately after reading them. She cleared her call history every day. If Nick called when Ron was nearby, she had to quickly silence the phone or pretend it was a call from her work or a friend. She also started telling more lies. She often told Ron she had to work late because of an important project. Sometimes she said she was meeting an old school friend for coffee. Other times, she invented work dinners. Each lie felt bad, but she felt trapped. She needed these excuses to spend time with Nick. Hiding the truth became a stressful, full-time job. Living like this was exhausting. She was always thinking, always planning her next lie, and always afraid of making a mistake. It felt like walking on very thin ice, constantly scared it would break under her feet. 4. The secret is out. One evening, something unexpected happened. Ron needed his phone, but he picked up Isabella's phone by mistake. Her phone looked very similar to his phone. He looked at the screen. He saw a new message. The message was not for him. It was for Isabella. The name on the message was Nick. Ron did not know anyone called Nick. He opened the messages. There were many messages between Isabella and Nick. The messages were not simple messages between friends. They were different. They showed that Isabella and Nick were very close. Ron read words of love and plans for secret meetings. Later that night, the house was quiet. The two children were asleep in their beds. Ron came into the living room where Isabella was sitting. His face was very serious. His eyes looked cold and distant. He held Isabella's phone in his hand. He asked her a simple question, but his voice was heavy. "Who is Nick?" Isabella felt a sudden cold feeling inside her. Her heart started beating very fast. She knew this moment might come. She was very, very scared. She tried to think quickly. She wanted to lie. Maybe she could say Nick was just a friend from work. She opened her mouth to speak. She tried to say the messages were just jokes, not important. But the words did not sound right. She could not look directly at Ron's eyes. Her face felt hot and red. She knew deep down that she could not hide the truth anymore. It was too late for more lies. Ron did not believe her weak attempts to explain. He held up the phone so she could see the screen. He showed her the messages she sent to Nick. He showed her the messages Nick sent back to her. There were so many messages. They talked about secret meetings after work. They used loving words. Isabella could not say anything more. Her secret was finally out. There were no more lies left to tell. Ron looked deeply hurt. His face showed surprise and shock first. Then it showed a deep sadness. After a moment, his sadness started to change into anger. He spoke quietly, but his voice was full of pain. He could not understand how this happened. He trusted Isabella completely. Now all that trust was broken. He felt betrayed by the person he loved most. She had lied to him for a long time. Without saying much more, Ron turned and went to their bedroom. Isabella followed him, starting to cry. But Ron did not look at her or speak to her. He opened the closet door. He took out a large bag. He started putting his clothes into the bag. He moved quickly and quietly. Isabella asked him to please stop. She asked him what he was doing. He stopped packing for a moment and looked at her. His eyes were full of sadness and disappointment. He told her clearly that he could not stay in the house anymore. He said he wanted a divorce. He also said he was worried about their two children. He talked about who would take care of the children in the future. Then he closed his bag. He walked straight to the front door, opened it, and left the house. The door clicked shut behind him, leaving Isabella alone in the sudden, heavy silence. Her secret was out, and her family life was breaking apart. So much sadness. When the door closed, Isabella fell to the floor. A loud cry escaped her. Tears came fast. Her body shook with deep sadness. She cried and cried, unable to stop. A big pain was deep inside her chest. She remembered Ron's face, full of shock, sadness, and cold anger. His words about divorce and the children played again in her mind. Fear washed over her. She felt so stupid. Why did she risk her family? Why did she hurt Ron? This was all her fault. She understood that now. The regret was heavy. The secret meetings, the lies, it all seemed worthless. There was only this terrible sadness and fear. She wished she could go back in time, but the past could not be changed. After crying for a long time, Isabella stood up. Her face was wet, her eyes red. She had to speak to Ron. She needed to tell him how sorry she was. She found her phone, her hands shaking. She dialed Ron's number. The phone rang many times, then it went to voicemail. "Ron, please pick up," she whispered. She called again and again, maybe 10 times. He did not answer. He did not want to speak to her. Her hope faded with each failed call. She sent text messages too. "Ron, please talk to me. I am so sorry. Where are you?" No reply came. Isabella could not stay in the empty house. The silence was too loud. She had to find Ron. Where could he be? Maybe at his friend Mark's house? Yes, that seemed possible. She quickly grabbed her keys and left. She drove to Mark's street. Her heart was beating very fast. She saw Ron's car outside Mark's house. He was there. She parked and walked to the door. She felt sick. What could she say? Would he listen? She took a deep breath and knocked. Mark opened the door. He looked surprised to see Isabella. Ron stood behind him. Ron's face showed no emotion. He did not look happy to see her. Isabella started talking quickly. "Ron, please," she begged. Her voice shook. "I am so sorry. Please listen to me." She took a step towards him. "I love you, Ron. I really do. Please don't leave me. Please don't take the children." Fresh tears fell down her face. She wanted him to forgive her, but Ron didn't move. He looked at her, his eyes full of deep pain. After a long silence, he spoke. His voice was quiet and cold. "You didn't love me, Isabella," he said. "You chose Nick." He didn't shout. His calm words hurt more. They showed how much she had wounded him. He did not trust her anymore. Isabella felt a huge wall between them. She knew she had built it. There was so much sadness in his eyes. 6, trying to mend things. Isabella knew she made a very big mistake. Her life felt broken. The first step was clear. She needed to stop seeing Nick forever. She met him one last time. It was a short meeting. She told him it was finished between them. "We cannot see each other again," she said firmly. "This was wrong. I need to try and fix my marriage." Nick tried to talk, but Isabella was sure. She walked away and did not look back. Later, she deleted his contact number from her phone. She blocked his number too. Seeing Nick was over completely. Isabella desperately wanted to save her marriage. She thought professional help might work. She found a marriage counselor, someone trained to help couples. Isabella made an appointment. She hoped Ron would come with her. She asked him, but Ron refused. He said no. So Isabella went to the counselor alone. She sat in the quiet room and talked about her feelings. She explained her mistake and her deep sadness. The counselor listened carefully. Going alone was very difficult, but Isabella kept going every week. She wanted to show Ron she was serious about changing. But Ron did not want to talk yet. Isabella tried many ways to communicate with him. She knew where he worked. Sometimes she waited outside his office building after work. She just wanted a chance to see him, maybe talk for a minute. Most times, he saw her but walked past quickly without stopping. Isabella also wrote letters to Ron. She wrote many letters. In every letter, she said sorry again and again. She told him how much she missed him and their family life. She explained she ended everything with Nick. She promised she would never hurt him like that again. She asked him to please talk to her. She sent the letters to where he was staying. For weeks, Ron did not answer her calls or reply to her letters. It felt hopeless. Life at home was quiet and sad without Ron. The children missed their father very much. They were young and did not understand why things changed. They started asking Isabella difficult questions. "Mommy, where is Daddy?" her little boy asked one morning. "Why doesn't Daddy live here anymore?" her daughter asked at bedtime. Isabella found it hard to answer. What could she say? She tried to be strong for them. She hugged them and said, "Daddy loves you very much. He is just staying somewhere else for a little while." But she saw the sadness in their eyes. Their questions made Isabella feel worse. She knew her actions hurt her children too. This made her want to fix things with Ron even more, but she did not know if it was possible. Ron was still very hurt. 7. A difficult talk. After many weeks with no word, Ron finally agreed to meet Isabella. He sent a short message. He asked her to come to a quiet cafe downtown on Saturday morning. Isabella's heart beat fast when she read the message. Was this a chance? Could things get better? She felt a small flower of hope grow inside her, but she was also very scared. She did not know what Ron wanted to say. She arrived early at the cafe. It was a small place, not very busy. She chose a table in the corner. A few minutes later, Ron walked in. He looked different. He seemed thinner and his face was serious. There were sad lines around his eyes. He did not hug her or smile. He just sat down opposite her. He looked at his hands for a moment before he spoke. His voice was low. "Thank you for coming, Isabella," he started. "I asked you here because we need to talk. This is very difficult, but we must decide some things." He took a deep breath. "I have thought about this a lot, every day. I cannot forget what happened. I have decided that I want a divorce." Isabella felt like the air left her body. She knew this might happen, but hearing the words was like a physical pain. Tears filled her eyes, but she tried hard not to cry loudly in the cafe. Ron continued speaking. "The most important thing now is the children," he said. "They need us to be calm. I do not want them to see us fighting. We need to find a way to manage this peacefully for them." Isabella found her voice. It was shaking. "Ron, please," she whispered. Can we just think about it some more? I know I made a terrible mistake, the biggest mistake of my life, but I love you. I am going to counseling. I am trying to understand why I did it. Please just give me one more chance. I swear I will never, ever do anything like this again. We can fix this. I know we can. She looked at him, hoping to see something change in his eyes, but Ron slowly shook his head. His expression was full of sadness, but also very firm. "Isabella," he said softly but clearly, "I hear what you are saying, but something is broken now, something very important." He met her eyes directly. "I don't trust you anymore. I wish I could, but I cannot. Every time I look at you, I will wonder. I cannot live like this. The trust is gone, and I do not think it can ever come back." His words were final. There was no anger left in his voice, only a deep sadness and a decision that would not change. Isabella understood. There were no more chances. This was truly the end of their marriage. The small flower of hope inside her died completely. 8. Living with regret. My life is very different now. Ron does not live with the children and me anymore. Our house often feels too quiet. After the children go to sleep, the silence is very loud. I spend many evenings alone, thinking about everything. I still work at the same office. Seeing the place where I met Nick sometimes brings back bad memories, but I need my job. My children are my main focus now. They are young, maybe they do not understand everything, but they know Daddy lives somewhere else. Sometimes they ask questions I find hard to answer. They miss him living here. I still love Ron very much. That feeling has not changed. In fact, maybe it is stronger now because I understand how much I lost. I think about him all the time, every day. I remember our wedding, the day our first child was born, the simple evenings we spent together. These memories make me happy for a moment, but then very sad because they feel so far away. Every weekend, Ron comes to the house. He arrives at the same time to pick up our 2 children for his visit. He usually waits by his car or near the door. He does not often come inside the house anymore. Seeing him is the hardest part of my week. He is polite but distant. He talks to the children, asks them about school, and laughs with them. But with me, his voice is different. Our talks are short, only about plans for the children. What time he will bring them back on Sunday evening. There are no shared smiles or easy conversation like before. When he buckles the children into his car and drives away, a piece of my heart goes with them. It hurts physically to watch his car disappear down the street. I stand at the window for a long time after they leave. I know he is a wonderful father, and the children need this time with him. That is important. But I always wish he was coming back with them, that our family was whole again. This moment, every single week, shows me clearly what I destroyed. I made a terrible mistake. I understand that completely now. There is no way to go back in time and change my actions. I decided to start the affair. I decided to lie. Now, I have to live with what happened because of those choices. My actions hurt Ron deeply. I broke his trust, maybe forever, and I broke our family life. I lost the man I love and the happy home we built together over many years. I see the confusion in my children's eyes sometimes. They are quiet when they used to be noisy. This is also because of me. It is a heavy weight to carry. I think about my mistake every single day. From the moment I wake up, the regret is there. It follows me all day long. If I could have just one wish, I would use it to return to the time before everything went wrong. I wish I could undo it all, but that is impossible. So, I live with this deep regret every day.